You know, I bought XSplit, so I should really start streaming now. I bought it like a month ago thinking, well, if I buy it, I'll be incentivized to stream because I had spent money on it.
Yo, I mean, everybody misses you. As
Man,
yep, welcome back to game number 2 of the It'sGosu Monthly Madness Qualifier Finals. This is game 2 between For.Love, the Chinese team, up on the dire side, as I still get mixed up from the boxes, and FTFC on the radiant side. They are from New Zealand. And game 1, very exciting. Pretty stale back and forth. Actually, not really that stale, just very contested, very close until
it was a
four.
good game.
Yeah, FTFC just finally
FTFC are
broke through.
Kiwis? I didn't know that.
Huh? They're from New
I,
Zealand.
yeah, that's what I meant. They're Kiwis.
Yep.
I am totally rooting for them now. I'm rooting for FTFC. Awesome. I'm normally a Chinese fanboy. I really want to root for Banana. I'm a fan. But now that I know they're from New Zealand, I'm all in on the New Zealand plan. FTFC, here we go, baby.
Yeah, as we saw a lot of really, really exciting heroes. Shallow Fiend, Lifestealer, and that's pretty much it. But, pretty...
Undying, Nyx, Shadow Fiend. There was another relatively interesting pick that I can't remember now. We had Rubik as well. I mean, I know Rubik's in a lot of games. I think he makes for good games. Yeah, the game was really good. I mean, there was a couple mistakes here and there, but overall, I think it was a really pretty close game.
It was hard
I mean,
to tell who won,
who
would win. Like, it was hard to tell who would win even at the end.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think towards the end there, I felt like once FTFC won that battle by Roshan, I think they kind of had it. But For.Love, I mean, there was a period of time where I think if they'd have pressed for a bit more battles, they could have done it. The problem was their Enigma, or FTFC's Enigma, just had too many items. I mean, he had BKB and Blink, as well as a mech. Like, he was just fat.
Yo, he didn't need it. He just, doesn't even need Black Hole. He just threw it
Yeah,
away.
but what that means is that For.Love can't just jump in and initiate
Yeah.
on them. It kind of prevented them from doing that. I know that ultimately didn't do anything. Like DFC never really used Black Hole to great effect, but the threat that it was there kind of prevented For.Love from ever really being able to initiate. Uh-oh. You happy now?
Of course, I'm always happy. Batrider, my favorite hero in the game. We're going to probably see him in the mid solo position, but For.Love picking up probably the most successful hero these days in the Bounty Hunter. Very, very strong hero. Once you get the track code going, it just pretty much never stops. It's pretty much just an endless supply of gold coming into the pockets of everybody on our team, but they have to be careful. Batrider, one of the most powerful initiators in the game. Very powerful laning hero, and just overall a real pain in the ass to deal with. And if they manage to get Undying, Baron Undying, two of my favorite heroes in the game on the same team, and keep in mind that combo is just so annoying to deal with. It's just not even
and
funny.
Undying, your two most favorite. You are a sadistic person.
Yo,
Just want to let you know. By the way, if you could
Nightstalker.
change any one thing in Dota, what would it be?
One thing in Dota, yo,
It's any one thing.
too hard.
Oh man, I'd delete Bounty Hunter in a heartbeat. So we have a Nightstalker picked up as well, so that gives them a lot of gang and a lot of chase potential with that Bounty Hunter Gondar. Wait, that's the same hero. Gondar Nightstalker, rather. It looks like FTFC this time are going to go ahead and grab the Naga Siren, opting not to go for the Enigma or the Leviathan to back it up with, though. They're grabbing the Invoker instead. Now, the fact that both of them are still in the pool means that they can kind of do this without fear of them not getting one if they really want it. I mean, For.Love can either take one and ban the other, but I honestly think Invoker is just going to be better here. We saw kind of last game, Naga's ultimate, because of the Darkseer change, it's really not the initiation tool it used to be.
And Gyrocopter, a character we've actually been seeing a lot more recently.
Yes!
Root, actually, it's a favorite of Root. I know Waga loves playing it. Gyrocopter has been seeing a lot of popularity. Actually,
Yeah,
Navi and ESWC ran an explosion-based strategy with, like, Gyrocopter and a bunch of other explosion-based heroes like Tinker, Clock. Just really, really fun strat.
Explosion-based heroes?
Yo, explosion-based heroes. Totally a new metagame. Bruno better start writing up the stats on the
I would like to
ASAP.
point out that Waga just feeds with Gyro, though, so I'd like to see a really good team play.
Well, he does rush Rapier, so, it's Waga.
Okay, for those of you who don't know, Waga's a good friend of Dota commentaries. Obviously, me and Lumi know him for quite a while here, but he is a feeder, I'm just saying. Anyway, they do go ahead and ban the Enigma. Leviathan was also banned from FTFC, so it looks like those are both removed. Shadow Fiend getting banned from FTFC as well. Now, they picked him last game, so that's not really a respect counter ban or anything. It's just genuinely fearing the Shadow Fiend. I think that's a very interesting... I mean, a year, 3 months ago, if you clicked on Shadow Fiend at any point during a captain's mode, I think your team would fire you. So, pretty interesting to see him actually banned now.
Yeah, it might be to protect the Invoker, but I don't think they actually would have laned the Shadow Fiend mid if they did, because Shadow Fiend does relatively well versus Invoker, especially with the Invoker base damage nerf. Really helps him out in the Quaswex build, but I think they probably would have run Nightstalker in mid lane just because it would be tricky to run Gyrocopter and Nightstalker in the same lane, but, teams can find a way. FTFC banning out pretty large AoE heroes. Looks like For.Love doing the same. Sanking receiving the last ban, so we'll see what For.Love decides to ban out with their last. Will Undying receive the ban hammer, or will he just be left in the pool yet again? Leshrac is the final ban, so Undying once again in the pool, and we'll see if a team decides to pick him up.
They grabbed Shadow Demon. I actually expected them to grab it there. Now, did you have... The thing is, they have Invoker, Naga, and Batrider, and Undying really does like to farm. And I fully expect Batrider to be farming as well, so I don't think they're going to pick an Undying here. Cue the Undying pick. Ready?
Alchemist in this...
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a sec. I want to see if they grab the Undying. Nope, they're not going to. All right.
They're not going to. They are... Yeah.
Alchemist goes from being the questionably worst hero in Dota 2 about 2 months ago to arguably one of the best farmers. I mean, his gold rate now is really sick. The Goblin Greed got buffed once, and then after the first buff, Iceborne was like, no, let's buff it again. And it got a second buff.
Yo, he raking in that cash.
Yeah.
He gets pretty ridiculous gold per minute. I mean, it's pretty common to see like a 12-minute radiance in even pub games with the worst farmers. I mean, I can do it. So,
I mean, if you play pub alky, you can actually get 1k gold per minute just consistently. Like, 1k gold per minute's not unobtainable. I've done it like a couple times. It's really pretty ridiculous.
But
so they do have a really like tanky, kind of an aggressive all-in line. I mean, if you look at it, these are 4 heroes that really kind of want farm. Who do you think is supporting here? Is this a Gyro support or an Alki support?
I think they might have to run a Gyro support. I think Nightstalker, I know Navi ran Arzar as a Nightstalker support a couple times, but I don't think that really suits a Chinese playstyle.
Crazy.
Gyrocopter might have to be a support,
Gyro
but
Alchemist?
300 range, I am completely mind-boggled. Vengeful Spirit, that makes sense, I suppose, It's just a Gyrocopter support, I mean, Rocket Barrage, but yes, solo range. Mirana as well needs a lot of experience and a lot of farm, otherwise she falls off ridiculously fast. So For.Love, not too sure what they're thinking, might just be pressing the random button.
Last game, they felt like they didn't have enough carry, I guess, and they were like, look, we will not be lacking for farmers this game. Wow, this is so many farmers. Are they just going to turtle? Is that the plan?
They don't even have that great of turtling heroes. I mean, you should have picked up Sniper or something like that.
They've got Acid Spray, and Gyrocopter has an ultimate.
Yeah, they got Arrow.
Oh man, she can Starfall's cheaper now. No, her ultimate's cheaper.
Yeah,
she can Starfall and leap away. I guess. I don't know.
So For.Love,
I don't know. I guess this is a support Potom.
I guess it has to be, as she bought the courier, I think, and has sentry wards as well. Gyrocopter is supporting as well, apparently, because, Gyrocopter can do that. Alchemist is going to be farming it up. Nightstalker going to be in the mid-solo position. So we're going to see a tri-lane of... No, we're going to see a roaming Gyro? Not? No, tri-lane Gyro? Sure, why not? As Batrider going to cut down the trees right off the bat, as he has the boost of speed, so just going to be able to do that very successfully. And it's not like this tri-lane can really harass the Batrider out of the lane too effectively. I don't know. I'm confused.
No, I mean they can. If they use homing missile, they can really kind of harass quite a bit. Potom's range is pretty decent. She doesn't hit mega hard, but she does harass pretty well early on. We also have an unstable concoction at level 1 from Alchemist, which means that they do want to be aggressive up here. The problem they're going to have is Batrider, I mean, he's just going to hang back. Like he doesn't really need to farm much. He just needs to leech a little bit of XP. Now, he's not going to get a whole lot, but on the other side, they're going to completely dominate bottom. Naga's going to get completely free farm. Gondor's going to try and leech. It looks like he might be... Is he warding the lane? What's he doing? I'm not sure what he's doing.
He's trying to pull the creep wave.
Ah, okay, yeah, that's what he's doing.
But has to watch out for the net if it does come through. Net is just skilled, as he's going to be able to get the invis. That net has a pretty big cast time.
An arrow from super long way away actually catches the Shadow Demon, and he goes down there. That was really well placed there from Hansi, as Gyrocopter ends up picking the first blood on Shadow Demon. That's going to be really good. I mean, again, they have these support heroes that are kind of farmers, so picking up early kills with your supports in this is going to be really crucial for them.
Definitely, and we saw the power of Rocket Barrage does ridiculous damage. I think 11 damage per second over, 3 seconds, 30 rockets. Pretty ridiculous, 330 damage total with the arrow. I mean, that Shadow Demon pretty much just melted, but like you said, Bounty Hunter not going to have too good of a time. Just needs to get the experience going, and I guess that's how they're going to farm. They're going to just try to over-rely on the track, and a lot of pressure is going to go on this Bounty Hunter in order for them to win the game.
Yeah, I mean, they have 5 heroes that can use farm really effectively, coupled with track. It means that if they do get some track kills, those heroes are going to be unstoppable. I will go out and I will say it right now, if FL actually gets a number of kills and gets some farm, there's no way they can lose this
Oh,
game.
Gyrocopter going after Stumpy. The courier does get sniped. Nice time by Gyrocopter. Managed to see the item being delivered. Gyrocopter with base 315 move speed, not
There's
insignificant.
a little taunting barrel roll as well as he gets away. Well played.
Yep, as that is a completely idle animation, but so far it looks like For.Love clearly on a different level than we are, as they managed to make this lineup work so far. Bounty Hunter going to try to pull the creeps yet again, and Cook's going to do a confusion pause as they're clearly befuddled. They're going to have another strategy meeting in order to sort of rethink how this works out.
Sorry. Go. Okay. So, yeah, this has started really well for For.Love. I mean, they snipe the courier. They get a first blood on just a random arrow from a bottom. I mean, it wasn't random. It was really well placed. Nice Arc is getting decent farm in the middle. He's sitting at 7-1. Invoker has decided to go for Exhort, so he is going to have some map presence with that early Sunstrike. And in fact, even at bottom, Vengeful Spirit is just running Gondar out of here. Gondar's being forced all over the place. He's trying to pull, but it's not working out for him. You know, the 3v1 up here is not really working out in his favor. But the good side is that his supports are really getting quite a bit. We're going to see an Unstable Concoction charge. This is going to be an easy arrow lined up. Yep, Hansi's going to throw the arrow. And this is really the power of the Potom coupled with the Alchemist. Alchemist is kind of a guaranteed stun if they don't have a way to jump away, which basically guarantees the Potom landing arrow, and arrow is kind of a death sentence for pretty much any hero early on.
Yeah, definitely, and Firefly was on cooldown, so even if he could get it off, which he couldn't, at least he managed to pick off Sticking Napalm, so he will be able to get a little bit of scouting information, not the biggest range, but a decent amount of AoE. Meanwhile, Gyrocopter continuing to roam, still at the level 1 Rocket Barrage, so Gyrocopter not going to get any experience anytime soon. Only 315 range, so he can't even leech too successfully from the Bounty Hunter. As we can just check out the early CS, looks like Alchemist is Naga, even CS, but Alchemist, of course, making it much more worth as well. Arrow whiffs on the top lane as Barrier manages to escape, and looks like there's going to be net on the Bounty Hunter. Here comes Sunstrike, and the Magic Missile was not casted at all. Actually going to be used. Gyrocopter does get disrupted and Magic Missile at the same time, and a bit of miscommunication by FTFC cost them a kill.
Yeah. Yeah, Gyrocopter did manage to actually get a Rocket Barrage off there before he got pulled out as well, so it kind of forced the Vengeful Spirit to run away. Like they point out on Unstable Concoction is level 2. Alchemist is going to go ahead and launch it here. No arrow this time as he does manage to fly down off the side there and kind of save himself. But interesting, you don't often see Unstable Concoction getting maxed, but coupled with the Potom in lane, I think this is a really good choice.
Yeah, I mean, you get the more damage. It's not like Alchemist, as the spray DPS, will be able to secure himself a lot more kills against Barrett, I suppose.
No, and because he has the Potom in lane with him, he doesn't need it really. So
yeah,
I think it's a really good choice. And it does increase the stun as well. I mean, it scales. It's a really good thing to scale. I mean, it goes from 1.75 to 4 and 150 to 360. So, I mean, it scales very strongly. A lot of players just get the 1 point just for kind of the the quasi stun, but it really gets quite powerful as you max it.
Meanwhile, it looks like the Raiden heroes are going to circle around. They have a smoke gank, and Night Stalker might be in a lot of trouble. Here comes the Disruption, as well as the Soul Catcher. Terror going to be used as well. There's going to be a bunch of stunts. Vengeful Spirit going to get silenced. Nicely done by the Night Stalker. The Sunstrike barely manages to hit just the tip, as Gyrocopter doing immense amounts of damage. Here comes the missile. One more hit. Vengeful Spirit will take the fall. Night Stalker will escape. Man, For.Love just toying with FTFC at this point.
Everything going For.Love's way. That was a guaranteed kill from FTFC, and they didn't get it. A really nice silence from Night Stalker manages to keep him off of the Vengeful Spirit stun, so manages to keep him alive. We see another homing missile being dropped here on Invoker, going to kind of force him back, as that's a really long range one. It's going to take quite a bit of damage from that one. Looks like Shadow Demon is going to go ahead and attack it, though, and cancel that out, so well played there. But through all of this, Gyrocopter, despite being kind of not a farmer here, level 3, he's got himself some boots, 500 gold. He's actually having quite a good effect on this game.
Yeah, it's really, really surprising to say the least. Meanwhile, Nagasarn getting outfarmed by the Alchemist, and Alchemist, of course, makes it much more worth as well. Again, has level 1's Goblin Greed. That's pretty much all he needs at this point. Doesn't really need to max it. And as Fortune Golden Bank, we'll see if he goes for Midas. Will he go for Vanguard? I mean, anything is possible for the Alchemist because he just farms so fast. It's not even funny. It looks like Bounty Hunter might be in a bit of trouble. No, it should be just fine.
Yeah, the real story here is that they're not killing Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter hasn't died yet, and they've kind of traded their other lanes to guarantee themselves a win on this lane. And while Naga is farming, the fact that they're not getting any kills here is really pretty problematic for them. I mean, they're dominating the other lanes. There's really no other word for it. The mid lane, there's a lot of focus. Invoker is getting some last hits. He's 15-3, but I mean, Night Stalker, He's sitting at 22-4.
Yeah.
And of course, as you mentioned, Alchemist up top is just happy days up there.
Keep in mind, it's not even first night, and the ganking will just begin. And yes, Phase Boots to boot as he pops
There
the
it is.
immediate darkness. Gonna get a couple more seconds on that level 1 darkness. Meanwhile, Gyrocopter camping the rune is gonna get a double damage rune for the Night Stalker to work with. So now the fun really starts for the Dire Squad as they manage to get the nighttime for the Night Stalker, can gank all over the map, and pretty much nobody on the ring is safe at this point as their support's pretty underleveled. So it looks like For.Love seems to have a new idea how to play the game, and it's working out really, really well for them so far.
Well, I've always been a fan of the 5 carry strategy. I feel like it's really the best way to play Dota.
Yeah, dude. There's a reason why pubs do it so much.
Night Stalker's not really a carry. Night Stalker's much more of a ganger, to be fair. And I do think as he starts to get items, they're going to kind of rotate out of him farming. He's going to get some tank items, and I think after that they'll rotate, and actually I think Potom will start to get a little bit more farm after that. But this is working out really well. They're going to go ahead and pressure this top tower. Meanwhile, in middle, Night Stalker just continuing to farm. He has those phases, as you mentioned. It is nighttime. He's not going to do
Bounty Hunter going to get dusted, as well as a Sunstrike. And he does take the fall on the bottom lane, but Alchemist is approaching that relic money very, very quickly, just last-hitting everything that he can get his hands on, or his blades on, at the very least. Meanwhile, Batrider trying to do as much as possible. Sticking Napalm not enough in this situation. Meanwhile, Gyrocopter lurking very menacingly in the shadows, as only a Gyrocopter can do. Batrider going to try to clear the trees, as he will be able to do so far. Uses the flame break to get a bit of scouting, but the homing missile will fly in. Will they initiate? Meanwhile, Night Stalker managed to pick up a kill on the Invoker. Could not see how that happened, as he just managed to muscle him down with the double damage.
I have a general guess. I think he double damaged and then hit him a bunch of times until he died.
Never would have guessed.
Yeah, it's really hard to play Night Stalker at nighttime. You just right-click him. Nah, I'm pretty sure he just silenced voided and killed him. It's pretty straightforward. But they do manage to cancel the push top, so they defend that. So a little bit of a win there for FTFC. 1-4 now in the Dire favor. And again, I really feel like Dire should not be dominating all of these early lanes as they are. These lanes, I don't think these lanes are brilliant, to be perfectly honest.
Oh, arrow does whiff. Here comes the Cold Snap as well as Soul Catcher. Will Night Stalker take the fall? He's going to run right into a Sunstrike. Nicely done by the Invoker. Meanwhile, Mirana going to take a bit of damage, but the homing missile going to be enough to disrupt it as HE Rage disconnects, clearly in disbelief, as his hero Night Stalker did die. But Naga Siren, Bounty Hunter, level 6, so now the track gold can start flowing. And Alchemist, 3K gold in the bank. This is the power of Alchemist, everybody.
Man, 3K gold, 8 minutes in. That is a lot of gold. Invoker really nicely played there on the Sunstrike. Also got the deny in the middle tower. So that's what FTFC needs. They need to be winning these other lanes. They need to be getting kills in the middle. They need to be getting kills on bottom, actually. And they did get that Gondar one time, but they really want to do that again. We have a invisible Gyrocopter. This could be tough. I mean, a Rocket Barrage on a Vengeful Spirit plus a homing missile is just going to kill her instantly. In fact, Naga is level 6, so she does have an ultimate, so theoretically she can survive. The problem is Rocket Barrage continues through sleep, I believe.
I think you are correct in that assumption, as Batrider trying to clear the creep waves up top. Naga trying to set up for a relic of her own, I think. She did not go for anything like a Viv Booster or a Stout Shield. So trying to beat Alchemist in his own game, but you're never going to be able to do that ever, unless you're an Anti-Majors the Battle Fury already finished. And another pause going to fly in. I mean, Alchemist, it's been like half a minute already farmed 300 more gold. And meanwhile, Night Stalker has the bottle and the smoke of the seat. So map control in For.Love's advantage, kill count in For.Love's advantage, tower advantage in For.Love's favor. What should FTFC do to get back in the game?
Well, that's a good question. I think they need to repick, because Batrider needs a lane where he can actually get some farm. And Batrider's sitting at Tranquil Boots and 500 gold right now. He's not even level 6. He's getting close. But really, what they need is they need Batrider to have an effect on the game at this point. We're sitting at 9 minutes in. As you know, as a Batrider player, if you're not doing things at the 10 to 15 minute mark, you're failing. That's just how it works. I mean, the hero needs to be doing... He is an incredibly powerful hero at level 6 and 7. He's one of the best, actually. He can just dive just about anybody and take him down. The problem is he's in a position where he's not going to be able to do that. And he needs to do that. I mean, there's so many farmers on the other side that he needs to be getting kills. It's really interesting to me. I feel like FL have really fantastic picks. They have, at the moment, they have the map control. They have the late game kind of sewn up. They're heading kills. What can't they do? I don't even feel like FTFC really has a fantastic push either.
Yep, Batrider gonna try to retreat out of the way as the ward did spot, and looks like Invoker gonna run into a Night Stalker and a Gyrocopter homing missile, and the silence, and here comes a Rocket Barrage. So much damage. Night Stalker picks up the kill. While they turn around for the Batrider Firefly already being used, but right now FTFC caught in complete disarray, as this is clearly not a strategy you planned for, but For.Love executing it perfectly, clearly capitalizing, and they want to get to the It'sGosu Qualifier tournament.
Yeah, I mean they did lose game 1, so this would just be even it up if they pull this one out. If I had to put my money,
Arrow hits on the bottom lane against Naga Siren, and another pause, so a bit annoying.
Yeah, that's a little problematic. But I believe it hit Naga, correct? Naga does have an ultimate. She's only stunned for what looks like just another second or so, so I don't think they're actually gonna be able to kill her. Gondar's would have to hit just an immense amount of damage, and Janata's only level 1 yet, so I do not believe they're gonna kill Naga here.
Might not be the case and Naga actually picked up a Ring of Health, so just gonna try to skip that relic altogether for now. Meanwhile, Alchemist, in like the half minute that we left him alone, has the relic, so Alchemist. Like we literally looked back at him a minute later, and he managed to farm up like 600 gold.
Yeah, the changes to Alchemist have just really went from being a completely useless hero to really a quite competitively viable hero. I think there's a good chance that we're going to see a lot more of Alchemist as the version proceeds. I don't think he's insane, but I think we're kind of seeing what he can do. If you put him with a support, a non-traditional support who has a stun or can do some damage themselves, I mean, you kind of have like a Naga Siren thing going on where your carry is also your initiation. I mean, Naga Siren, as we see T-Duck going down here up top to a dive, and we see a TPN. Yeah, nice choice to cancel that, because that would have been an insta-death. But going back to my point, it's kind of like Naga Siren with Ensnare. I mean, you have your carry, who is also your initiation. Unstable Concoction, while a little bit less reliable than Snare, it also does a lot of damage, and I mean, your carry being able to be the one that initiates is really so powerful.
Mirana is dewarding it, clearly a common occurrence for Mirana players everywhere. I know Fluff and Stuff actually played a support Mirana, but that's pretty much the only time I've ever seen support Mirana these days. But Invoker might get initiated on. Still nighttime, so Night Stalker running pretty much unchecked. Meanwhile, Bounty Hunter takes the fall, but Bounty Hunter is fine with this, and Invoker going to take a homing missile right to the face of the detection. They do drop a Sentry Ward, and looks like Invoker going to get complete reveal. Gyrocopter picks up another kill, a killing spree for a roaming Gyrocopter. What kind of world are we living in?
Yeah, this is kind of the fear you have if you're rooting for FTFC here. The team on the Dire, if they start getting kills, and again, they have a million stuns. I mean, look at all their map control and their disable. I mean, they have homing missile, they have unstable concoction, they have arrow from Potom, Mirana, whatever you want to call her. But you got Void, you've got Silence, you've got Track, you've got Street. There's just a lot of gang potential on the Dire side, coupled with the fact that they have sick lates hero. I think this is wonderful picks. These are brilliant.
Barrow going to teleport in as the gank on Naga Siren was failed, but here comes Alchemist charging up his stun. Gonna forego firing for a little bit, gonna stun himself just because he feels like it. Will the Radiant initiate on this Barrow trying to fly himself in? Firefly actually is gonna expire relatively soon. Not sure why he's diving in so aggressively. It does expire right now, but looks like the Dire are gonna back up as well. They know they have a significant advantage. They have the late game, so why take any unnecessary risks at this point? But, it's been working out for them so far, so might as well, I suppose. But Alchemist's going to go back to his farming, trying to finish up the Radiance, and once he gets that, his gold will climb even faster than it did before, like, if that was even possible.
I kind of like Potom as a non-traditional support. I don't know how you feel about this. I've actually seen it be played quite a bit more than just Fluff. I think a year or so ago there was a French team that played it all the time. I actually can't recall. Night Stalker's going to dive in here. Actually, Cux goes ahead immediately and snares him. We're going to see an initiation here. Sunstrike is going to catch him, but Night Stalker so tank. Look at how many spells are using on him. He is finally going to go down, but at what cost? It looks like VDX is going to take a bunch of damage. Gyrocopter goes in there. So much damage being dropped on the Naga Siren on the back of those Rocket Barrage. You see another tracker gun is going to come around the backside. Cox is going to go down immediately. Vodki is going to be the next one to fall. It looks like actually he may survive. He magic wands up. Arrow hits nothing here, but we're going to see a Starfall. No second one.
Oh, Bounty Hunter going to bring Rat right back around. Gets a Shuriken toss.
The Shuriken toss is really impressive here from the Gondar. We do see another fantastic block.
Oh, so wow.
Nice TP out, or eating a tree out to get away, but he's not going to survive. Gyrocopter does drop his ultimate. It looks like Batrider is going to fall just to the Rocket Barrage. Ooh, actually, maybe not there. It looks like one more attack. He is not tracked yet. Homing missile. He's just going to go down to direct clicks, actually. Going to go after Shadow Demon next. Shadow Demon taking a bunch of damage. I think he's actually going to survive here. I don't think there's enough mana on the bottom to do anything. Nope. But really chaotic battle there. I rather like that. That was fun.
When have you ever seen a roaming gyrocopter get a mega kill streak? Like, seriously, as
I,
Alchemist has finished the Radiance.
I actually think roving gyrocopter is pretty good. I just really like these picks. I mean, I know I'm stressing that, but I think this is fantastic style of Dota to play. I mean, you don't get the traditional boring supports. You get these crazy gyrocopter roaming. You got Potom as your kind of primary support heroes. Crazy. See, an initiation up top of Alchemist. This could be big. They really need to get the Alchemist here, and I think they're going to. Going to see maybe a Deafening Blast. No, he actually manages to get the stun off, and he's going to kill him with the Radiance. Oh, Invoke on cooldown. Only level 8.
Oh my god, that is dreadful, as everything is going wrong for FTFC at this point. They're getting completely outworked, outmanaged by the dire side, as Alchemist, bit too tank, managed to wind up get that ultimate off as he was out of mana at this point. But keep in mind, level 1 ultimate for Alchemist only 60 mana. He just hit level 2 ultimate, so it's now 100 mana, but level 1 ultimate, relatively cheap, and gives him immediate 300 HP boost. Well, I mean, not immediate, but it does scale.
Pays for itself in like 3 seconds anyway.
Yep.
Bounty Hunter, interestingly, did go ahead and max Shuriken Toss, as you pointed out earlier. Like, he was using it to just assassinate snipe heroes on the backside. I think it's an interesting choice. You don't often see people maxing Shuriken, but, you know, it's doing work here as he's managed to get a couple kills off of it, a couple track kills, too. Pretty important.
Yep, you know, Alchemist farming up a stacked camp. His gold will climb even higher, finish the strength tread. As Net gonna fly in for the Night Stalker. It is daytime. Nighttime has actually expired, so they will go for the Night Stalker, but he is so tanky. Like you mentioned, with the Urn of Shadows, actually just finished in the last team fight. Managed to pick up a couple of charges. As Invoker gonna get missiled, and they can't really engage. Even when it's daytime against the Night Stalker, they can engage, and that does not bode well whatsoever. And meanwhile, Mirana, finally hitting some creeps, realizes that there is more to life than just supporting an Alchemist.
To be fair, I mean, she's got an Aquila and boots. It's not like she's completely useless. I mean, she's got some decent mana regen. She's hitting pretty, 80 damage. She's got a little bit going on for her. I feel like the Potom and the Gyrocopter have played very well this game and have really been the story. I mean, Gyro's obviously 5-0 roaming. He's clearly the star of the show. Potom's only 0-0, but she has 5 assists. She's really been quite all over the map. So FL playing a very aggressive strategy and doing it very well.
And they also recognize Naga is pretty much For.FC's or FTFC's only hope to get back in the game, as a missile flies in. The sleep will actually end, so she will immediately take the fall. Here comes Batrider, as looks like the arrow does manage to hit on just the end, as a Deafening Blast Meteor combination going to melt the Night Stalker. Night Stalker taking immense amounts of damage, will manage to take the fall. One more hit, Night Stalker will actually finally die. Potom dies as well, Mirana rather. And here comes Alchemist, has the Radiance, so that's going to do immense amounts of damage, but the Disruption going to give them a bit of backline damage as well. Looks like FTFC making a valiant comeback in this fight, and Soulcatcher going to town on this Alchemist, but he does not care. No, one last hit by the Invoker, manages to clean it up, and here comes Track and Gyrocopter. You cannot run, you cannot hide from this Gyrocopter, as he is going to go to work on this Invoker. Here comes a missile, a couple more attacks, one more kill. Wicked sick roaming support Gyrocopter. What a boss.
Yeah. That match actually started very well for FTFC. What looked like a pretty poor position for Naga actually turned into a relatively decent fight. They managed to take down the Night Stalker. They burned a lot to take him down, but they did get him and followed up with the Potom very quickly. And then Alchemist actually kind of messed up there, just kind of threw his life away for not a whole lot. He got a kill, but I don't think that was kind of worth it. That said, Gondar and Gyrocopter continued the pain train and just continued to destroy everybody. Got 2 more kills on the back of that. Man, this Gyro, insane.
Yep, Naga Siren, realizing that she needs to tank up, actually goes for the ultimate, or even after saving up so much for the relic. After losing in that team fight, realizes, okay, I actually need to tank up, as we do have capabilities, but, Night Stalker, it is still daytime.
A lot of targeted stuns and a lot of targeted spells on the dire side, though. So if she goes for a Lincoln Spear, it's going to get a lot of use, but it's also going to, I mean, they have a lot of things to just turn it off as well.
Yep, Silence, Stun, Missile, Void, Track, etc., you name it. And, they can get the items to cancel that as well. Barrett trying to save up for a Blink Dagger.
Optimistic at best, I think.
I'd rather he start saving up for tanky items, because...
Yeah. There comes a point, I know you play Batrider a lot, and there comes a point with Batrider where if you don't have a blink fast enough, you just need to get the HP. Because even if you get the blink, you're not going to do anything. I mean, he's sitting at 950 HP right now. What's a Blink Dagger going to do for him? Oh, I can jump in and then die anyway. I mean, you have to have the tank at a certain point, and if you haven't managed to get the Blink Dagger by the time you need to buy the tank items, it's too late.
Yep, as we see, over a 10k gold deficit for the Radiant. Meanwhile, the experience graph tells a similar tale. Looks like Alchemist might be caught out unawares. Pops the ultimate, gets a nice HP boost. Moonlight Shadow going to be used as well. Do they have detection? I do not think they do.
Yes,
No,
they
they
do.
do have dust. As Alchemist dies in an instant, here comes the Night Stalker on the retreat. As here comes the Missile Gyrocopter, managed to get the call down. They're going to avenge their fallen compatriot as they managed to get 2 for 1 at the very least. For an Alchemist, they need to do that, but it might not have been worth it for the Radiant.
Yeah, we see the general problem with Alchemist there, just having no... Wow! Okay, Naga just wailed on Night Stalker. Night Stalker ran right up to him and just immediately got worked. I mean, look at his HP. He ran right up to Naga Siren, and Naga's like, okay, and then proceeded to just wail on him. But it looks like actually he's going to catch an arrow right to the face.
Oh, what an arrow!
Arrow from Potom, and this is going to be an easy kill on Naga. Even going to get the track gold for all 3 of them. Fantastic. Really well played there from Hansi. And again, I'm telling you, man, Gyro and Potom are carrying the day here. They're playing so well.
No doubt, no doubt, and keep in mind, it's not even the second night just yet, so Night Stalker will just go to work even more. Barrett picked up the Blink Dagger, but like you said, I mean, Barrett will jump in, but the Flaming Glass range, only 150, it's really not going to be enough. He's going to have to drag, and then he'll just get focused down. Gyrocopter does a lot of damage. I mean, a support Gyrocopter, 19 CS, already has 2 components of the BKB finished, 1k gold away from finishing a BKB. I mean, this is getting pretty ridiculous.
And their primary support, the Potom, has phases and Aquila and another 800 gold. Like, this is kind of what I was talking about early on, where if they get these kills, all of a sudden your support heroes become real threats as far as just powerful late-game heroes. I mean, it's not like Hansi or the Potom can't rotate into a kind of a carry build here. I mean, if she wants to start farming right now, she could easily get herself a Mana Style, and all of a sudden your primary support from level 1 is now able to just right-click half your team.
Yeah, and Track is only going to compound that even more.
Yeah.
I mean, Bounty is going to get his BKB finished to him, or delivered to him right about now. I mean,
Yeah,
probably
I think Gondor is what makes the strategy work, right?
Yeah, definitely. As
The fact that they can just expound that track gold, and of course the changes to the meta as well. I mean, the increased gold for ganks. I think this might be a legitimate strategy that you could use. We see nice initiations of Black Rider, has finally picked up his Blink Dagger, does actually use it to really great effect. They're actually removing the Gyrocopter and ending that monster kill streak for 600 gold. Big time killer. They needed that very badly.
Yep, Rage Pause coming out, obviously, as both teams clearly seething after the death of the Gyrocopter. Go is immediately called, as Alchemist going to go for pretty much a ZSMJ traditional build, going to go for the Manta style, as we didn't see this very often, but ZSMJ love to go that Manta style, get tanky illusions, run in with the Radiance, do ridiculous damage, and of course, even when the ultimate expires, those illusions just tank up so much damage. It's pretty insane, so nice to see this build make a comeback for the Alchemist. Nice to see Alchemist make a comeback, I guess.
Yeah, despite my misgivings about Gyrocopter, or shoot, what's the bat guy? Bat Rider. Well, despite my Jinzak, that's what his name was. That's why I did that. Anyway, so despite Bat Rider's, my reluctance about him getting the Blink Dagger, immediately uses it to great effect, and that's kind of what you're going to do. If you're getting the Blink Dagger and you're skipping those tank items, you pretty much need to kill somebody immediately, and they got the prize carry. I mean, not the carry, but rather the prize, the gold wise. I mean, Gyrocopter is 600 gold. Like, it was an insane amount of gold to just get off that kill. So really well played.
Yep, definitely. As we'll check out the levels really fast. You can see Vengeful Spirit and Shadow Demon having a pretty difficult time so far. The rest of the heroes are very, very much headed in terms of experience. As another pause is gonna fly in. Invoker has finished the Force Staff, trying to go for, looks like, might be a Eos, might be an Agonism. Too early to tell at this point. I mean, Staff of Wizardry could be anything, because that's what Staff of Wizardry does. Naga Siren gonna finish the Perseverance in about 100 gold, but so far everybody on the Radiant side of the map are just so underfarmed. It's not even funny.
I think it's much more likely that he's going to pick up an Ag Scepter at this point. I don't really think that Yules is going to do too much for him now. The one argument you say with Yules as well, there's actually a lot of heroes that if you remove them from the battle, it's going to be really relevant. Like, take Alchemist out of the battle, etc. Take Gondar, take any of them, really. It's going to be quite powerful. The problem is, I don't think it does enough. Because there's so many things for him to have to Yules, there's just too many targets for him. I think the Ag Scepter is going to be much more beneficial for him. So I think it's much more likely to be that.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the experience in the mana pool to really sustain. Well, he is level 12, so I guess he has enough. And I guess once he finishes it, he will have the experience and some of the mana pool to make it work. So I guess he might be right in this situation.
I mean, what he really needs is about 6 more levels, to be perfectly honest. He's sitting at level 12, and in fact, he's actually made up the deficit relatively well. Potom at 10, Goner at 12, Night Stalker 13, Jar at 11. Alchemist is at 15, but of course, Alchemist had a heyday up top. Now, Shadow Demon's sitting at 8, Revenge at 10, Naga at 12, Bat at 11. So the levels are actually a little bit closer.
Arrow gonna fly in due to the scouting of the bounty hunter. Looks like Barra gonna take an immediate fall. Song of Siren too late as bit of a mistake by the Naga Siren right there, as Barra does take the fall. Call down, able to clean up. Gyrocopter trying to get his bounty going once again, as he has 400 gold away from finishing his BKB, and meanwhile the massive amount of BKB is going to fly in for the rain. Actually, Nightstalker just finished it, and it is second nighttime. So
that's going to be 3 BKBs now, right? Because Gyro already has one. Yep, Gyro already has his as well. Meanwhile, up on that top lane, Alchemist just forced Invoker out of lane 1v1. Just ran in there, stunned him, started hitting him, kind of forced him to force away and TP out. So
yeah, 1v1
we got
mid.
a completed Manta style on Alchemist now.
1v1 mid. Alchemist beats Invoker, obviously. Gold per minute on Alchemist, only about 577, but he's been in a lot of fights recently. He's definitely slowed down the farm. So
I feel like that number is going to go up.
Yeah, definitely. If the game doesn't end before then. But
yeah, and actually sitting at 24 minutes.
Oh, H3.
Whatever, H3.
You hater. Hating. Mad hard. As looks like they're a couple Radiant Heroes smoked up. They have no items, so not too sure how they can make this happen. They have a couple Forge Spirits. They're going to fly in. They're going to get the Courier and try to get off the Alchemist. Immediately kill the Aegis. And nicely done. That's 2 BKBs popped right off the bat. Can they manage to retreat successfully? Invoker is able to escape. Vengeful Spirit does not have a TP. She's caught in the middle of no man's land. As Alchemist is going to charge on by. Managed to kill the Aegis for free. Nicely done by
nice
For.TFC. But somehow managed to snipe the Naga Siren.
It was a wonderful arrow from Potom yet again. T-Duck trying to dodge. He has nowhere to go. He's caught between a rock and a hard place. The rock being Alchemist, the hard place being the rest of his team. And down he goes as well. So very nice fight there from FL. I really do think that the debating of the BKBs could have been important there. Unfortunately, they ended up just losing all their heroes. So I think this game is on its death throes here, or rather FTFC are on their death throes, as they're going to just look at this. They have 5 heroes that are all pretty much carry potential heroes. I mean, look at it. It's insane.
Yeah.
The primary support is hitting for 120 damage. Like, he's got another 1600 gold. Their roaming hero has got a BKB Arcanes. He's level 13. Like, this is nuts.
And their Naga Siren, I mean, she's just struggling really, really hard. Not even finished the Lincolns just yet. We'll get in about 200 gold. But yeah, like you said, net worth, I mean, 3 heroes on the dire side are ahead of the Naga Siren. That is just a complete result. I mean, Shadow Demon has a net worth of 630. My god, that is so sad. I feel for the Shadow Demon.
Alchemist is sitting at 14.4, in case you're wondering.
Yep.
Alchemist's net worth is almost as much as the next 2 heroes on the map. Like, he's only 1,000 behind the Gyro and Nightstalker combined.
Yeah, as Alchemist higher than the highest 3, or almost as high as the first 3 on the Radiant side of the map. Just about. As here comes a mass amount of gank. It is still nighttime, so Nightstalker can charge in pretty recklessly. Barrett are going to get tracked. Can he get the Flaming Lasso? Does get silenced, I think, and looks like Nightstalker managed to pick off Barrett. Vengeful Spirit going to be the next one to fall, and here comes the chase on the pursuit for the Invoker, as looks like Shadow Demon.
Please.
Oh my god, Shadow
I
Demon.
love that. That's so good. He's playing in the middle of a match to try and get to the It'sGosu.
Oh
He's about to die. He's like, no, don't do it. Oh, man. FL taking this one. I believe this is just about going to be the GGs here in pretty convincing fashion. Man, I want to see more of these picks. Let's do this game. Run it back. Game 3. More picks like this.
Oh my god, I would totally do the same thing if I was Shadow Demon. Just please, just please, no more, no more. It's just PTSD at this
Shadow
point.
Demon has 870 net worth.
Yeah,
That's literally 200 more than started.
he wouldn't have that. He'd have like 630 if Naga didn't just take a tower. That's, oh my god.
Literally.
Oh no, Naga.
His net worth is basically your starting gold. He's got like 300 more than that. That's crazy. Poor guy. Shadow Demon not having a good time right now, I don't think.
No, yo, he's about to hit that 1K mark. Oh dang, he hit 1100.
Ooh, look at that.
Game is over as my Shadow Initiation Just adding insult to injury at this point. Oh man, For.Love. Man, this is borderline abuse. I'm starting to feel
I
bad on
think that the best
FTFC.
counter that FTFC would have had to this were to really pick up a bunch of AoE teamfight heroes. And they started that. I mean, they have a Naga Siren and an Invoker. The Batrider, kind of honestly, I don't think the Batrider does a whole much against this team.
I think
All of
Undying
these
would have
heroes,
been a fantastic choice against this team.
what, Batrider?
Undying.
Oh, Undying, yes. Undying would have been a great choice. I think you're talking about Batrider. I was like, what? No, I think the general problem they have is that all of these heroes really prey upon Batrider. I mean, Potem's not fantastic, but Potem doesn't go anywhere alone. All of these heroes really kind of want to just kill him. The Vengeful Spirit pick, the Shadow Demon pick, I don't think he's actually do anything. The Shadow Demon was kind of to counteract Night Stalker a bit. They did, prevent his diving. They didn't expect, I don't think, is Gyrocopter destroying everybody. Shadow Demon's pretty good, decent against Gyrocopter. It's pretty decent against Night Stalker. I think it's an okay pick, but what they really needed, like you mentioned, was something like an Undying, something like a Leviathan. They needed some team fights, some big AoEs to really counteract this, because FL, while they have a lot of great gangs and a lot of single targets and some decent carries, they really don't have a whole lot of just, general AoE fights for a big battle.
Oh my god, look at the goal graph, bro. This is
30,000!
This is
Wow, that's a number. That's
the
a number.
deficit is more than the entire net worth of the Radiant. It's
The Dire have more gold than I've made in my life. So, VDK taking a bunch of damage here. He's just running away. This game's pretty much...
it's
close
pretty
to
much a wrap, as
Yeah.
Alchemist's gonna go to work.
Maybe FTFC are just composing themselves here and taking time to figure out what went wrong. I think what generally went wrong was that Gyrocopter destroyed their whole team. But, past that, probably just taking a moment here, kind of gathering themselves, getting ready for Game 3. You don't want to just immediately GG and go to Game 3 and be on tilt and just lose that because you were still thinking about Game 2,
Yeah, definitely, since this is it's gonna come down to a best of one at this point to get into the tournament.
Yeah.
And getting into the tournament, FTFC, I don't think they're sponsored, so getting into a tournament like the It'sGosu Monthly Madness could get them a lot of exposure, could get them a sponsorship, and of course get a chance at the prize, so they're definitely taking this very seriously, as the GG is finally called, realizing that it is the end. But For.Love just came. It was a close game 1, but For.Love just said, alright, we're going to just crush you and leave you no hope in this game number 2. And what a game
this was
they played.
way more convincing than Game 1. Game 1 was pretty close. For.Love had a little bit of a potential, but FTC ended up playing it pretty well and ended up getting it down there. This game, no chance. There was no chance for FTC.
No, when you lose every lane and when your gyro roaming has BKB 20 minutes in, and when you're, well, I mean, everything went wrong.
They won the bottom lane, but they didn't ever kill Gondar. I mean, they didn't kill Gondar till minute 12 or something like that, so it might as well be a lost lane at that point.
Yep, definitely, as the GGs were called, and Naga Siren's still in the game, so we're going to wait for her to disconnect. But yeah, this has been game number 2 of the qualifier finals of the It'sGosu Razor Monthly Madness Asia Edition tournament. And with me was Nebula once again.
That's quite the name.
Yeah. Just add
You should just start adding things onto it. Brought to you by It'sGo or something.
Yeah, added a super fabulous, spectacular, awesome tournament of legends.
Yeah.
Might as well. But with me it was Nebula once again. Thank you very much for casting with me, Nebula. We'll be back with Game 3. I'm bballin. You can find me at youtube.com/bballin773. We are from DotaCounters.com. Shouts to all the people at DC. Shouts to It'sGosu, Razor, Nas, all the sponsors. So thank you for watching.
Shout out to Atri.
Shout out to Atri and Molly. And we'll see you very soon.